Welcome everyone. I'm sitting outside today and I want to share something personal. I was resisting the state that I'm in for quite a bit of time, even though I've felt it many times before. And then again, I recognized what a beautiful and sacred experience this is that I'm going through. And if you're watching this, you are likely on some spiritual path yourself, and so you've likely felt this and resonate with this as well. So what I'm experiencing now is called Shunya. It is that space in between death and rebirth when you can feel aspects of your external self, aspects of your life dying so that it can make room for more of your essential nature, for more of your true inner wisdom to come through. And if you don't know what that state is, it can be very frightening. And every time I get it, like I get this often, sometimes every day in small versions, but this is a profound one. It feels rather like depression, or like everything for some period of time is clouded from your mind. All the direction you had in your life, all the passion you had in your life is all veiled, so that instead of keeping on doing all the activities, you are more or less being forced to a standstill where you begin to reflect on what is really important. How can I get to the deepest truth of this? So it feels rather like a depression. I've had several, so I know the similarities and the differences. The similarities is that if you don't know this state and what it's for, it can feel very hopeless because you are void of direction, you're void of action, you're void of motivation to do anything. And we're very habitual creatures. We want to feel like we have a direction. We want to feel like we're moving somewhere. I think that is the fundamental drive of being human. Apart from just survival, it is the drive to always move so as to evolve, move so as to expand our consciousness in whatever way that means. If that means for us that we have a goal of achieving abundance, or we have a goal of achieving health, or we have a goal of achieving anything, the process of moving towards that is our spiritual evolution, and it's always driving us. And when we're not feeling that drive, it can feel like life is meaningless, like our days, time just ticking, feels wasted, feels meaningless. And I will admit that this is, for a couple of days, I moved in and out of that state, while I've also moved in and out of the state of complete surrender to the not knowing, which is a very beautiful state and which is void of hopelessness because you trust completely. And so what led me into this really is that I had a deep meditation a few days ago where I had this message, shall we say, and this internal yes, this internal I am ready. I've increasingly felt that I'm ready to surrender everything, every single story, every single identity. And the saying comes to mind, be careful what you wish for, because if you've stated that you want to surrender them, then life will provide you with circumstances in which you become able to surrender them. So it's not like something happened in my life, because in my life almost everything is internal. But this deep void, and especially the coming and going feelings of hopelessness, is what is propelling me to examine every single part of my life deeper that I'm still holding on to. And so it's a very, very beautiful state of being. It is the actual state of transition, the actual state of change. And I just want to honor that. I guess it's easy for me to feel a little bit of fear when that state is coming, not only because it's about letting go of stories, but also because I've had depression several times, and having had that, I am afraid to some extent to go there again. I am afraid to lose all of my passion, to lose all of my motivation again, because from that place I cannot serve myself, my evolution, or the universe. I cannot be a servant of love if I have no energy, if I have no vitality to do so. And so it takes reminders to know the difference, that this is something that I chose. To be in the state of non-knowing, to erase basically all of what I've known before, so as to make space for something else, something different. And by now I know that whatever the mind can serve me won't be satisfying. Whatever the emotions can do for me is very important. It is hugely important for living an authentic, fulfilling life, but it won't go all the way. The yearning is deeper than that, and the answer is deeper than that. And so all I can do is to let it play out. If I do have feelings of hopelessness, if I do have feeling of exhaustion, if I do have feelings of lostness, let it play out, allow it to be there as part of the stories I'm letting go of, and just observe from this place of neutrality. So this morning I was wondering what to do with this, and so I had this idea of this guidance that I could write a poem about it. And in the poem that I wrote, I realized that there can be 3 ways of death, 3 ways of letting go to move on. There can be the happy ending, which I've also experienced many times, where you feel this, yes, I have experienced this, I reached my inner and outer goal, I have seen my wishes come true, if you will, and so there is nothing more for me here. I've realized that in very profound ways at points in my life. It's like this Beyoncé song playing in my mind. I was here, I've done, it's It's this just strong, profound sense of being ready, finished with that. So that's the happy ending, and there can be sad endings where things are not going our way and we have no way of controlling it. It's beyond our control, truly and fully. And our lesson, among many other things probably, is to completely and fully embrace that sadness, embrace everything that is coming up as a part of this ending that needs to happen for our rebirth. And then there's the neutral ending, between the happy and the sad, or actually beyond them. It's this kind of ending where there might be tears, but you're not really feeling any emotions anymore, because you just know on some deep level that this just is what it is. It's just a process that is always ongoing, and you're not resisting it anymore, so there's nothing negative about it, and you're not having any desires for the other side anymore, so there's nothing positive about it either. It's just this completely neutral state, and that is what I'm moving in and out of, and that is what I'm establishing myself into more and more. And I believe that that is the true Shunya state, when you have completely surrendered both the positive and the negative, all the expectations and all the worries. You just trust that there will not even be another side to it. You accept this as it is, this moment as it is. It is a void. It is still a non-moving, and you accept that. Now, of course, having gone through this process a number of times before, I know that or know from experience, whatever that's worth, that there is something on the other side. There is something more deeply meaningful. There is something more deeply connecting. But if I were to live there now, I would be going ahead of myself. I would be skipping over my experience. And that is not honoring the experience that I'm having in the here and now. And I feel that that is important. I don't want to skip ahead of my life. I want to live my life truly and fully as it is. I don't know if I can make anyone any wiser by this, but it was lovely to share a little bit of my thoughts, and maybe you resonate, maybe you felt this, maybe you're feeling it. And if you have any thoughts for me, then feel free to comment below and share your experience. I would love to learn from you. So with that, I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and see you next time.